Alrighty, everybody, welcome to another episode of GameCorp. This is the one and only gaming podcast that you will ever need. I am your host once again. My name is Matt Hedrick, and here with me is the one, the only Mr. Chad Porto. How are you, sir?
Dun, 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 dun. My Corona. Dun, 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 dun.
Wasn't that actually was it actually a parody of the Sharona song or something like that? I remember there being like a flash animation for it somewhere.
How the fuck would I know?
Oh man.
So, we're doing a show. I don't want to be doing a show. But in my defense, I never want to be doing this show, so here we are.
You don't want to do anything right now, do you?
No, I always want to do things. I just don't want to do this thing. The things I want to do don't involve you or any men of any kind. Is that Jude Law? I think it is. Looks like some kind of alien umbilical cord. Alicia Silverstone and Jude Law. Were they in some like alien umbilical cord movie? Umbilicord. There it is. I guess I'll look.
God,
it
that
up.
that doesn't. The two of them together, I don't that connection for a movie. I've never remember anything they've been in together.
What was the chick's name from X-Men who played Rogue? And Natalie Portman. I said Natalie Portman, didn't I? It's not Natalie Portman. Who is it?
Well, it wasn't Natalie Portman.
Anna
No.
Paquin. Anna
Okay.
Paquin. That's who it was. All right. Let's see. Nope. I don't want to look for images. I want to look for the movie. They not in
I
the
don't think you're
movie
honestly
yet?
gonna find the movie. Yeah.
I guess I'll just turn. I'll just go to Comet. That's the channel I saw it on. I'm smart. All right, so we're talking. I don't want to talk about any of this. All this is dumb.
Well, you're talking about the movie, first of all.
No, I'm talking about everything. All video games are dumb. Just dumb. I bought a new one. Super fucking terrible. Never doing that again.
What did you buy?
It was a fucking wrestling simulator. It's the fucking worst. Like, I can't do half the things that I thought I'd be able to do, and like you have to do like all like this bullshit just to get anything going. But like I don't know how to do any of it because there's like the menu for it is just super fucking terrible. All right, it's called Extensions. It's Jennifer Jason Leigh, not Anna Paquin, but yes, there is in fact a Jude Law. Video game designer Allegra Giller has created a virtual reality game called Existence with a Z and a capital X for some reason. After a crazed fan attempts to kill her, Allegra goes on the run with Ted, a young businessman who falls into the role of bodyguard in an attempt to save her game. Allegra implants into Ted's body the video game pod that carries a damaged copy of Existence. Allegra and Ted engage in a series of experiences that blur the lines between fantasy and reality. This sounds terrible.
Oh God, does it ever?
Oh,
Jesus Christ, that sounds just so fucking bad. And speaking of horrible, we're talking about this fucking shitty movie. I hate you for this one too.
I
I really
care.
do. No, you don't, and that's fine. Whatever.
My entire goal for these shows is to systematically break your will to keep doing them. Resulting in you finally going, I can't. We're canceling the show, and I'll be like, oh no, are you click delete?
It's
Oh,
gonna be
gone.
really. I'm gonna hold out on you just out of spite.
See, the thing that really pisses me off is I respect that so hard.
Oh man, like what else am I supposed to do? Just give up? I'm not a quitter, man. You know me.
See, I would hope for the coronavirus to get you, but
Oh, come on, man. Now that's just fucking pure evil.
Well, no, because what are you gonna do? Be sick for 8 days and then be fine? Oh no, the horror.
Would that be fucked up if the coronavirus was just drinking too much Corona?
I mean, for a lot of people with alcoholism, that is exactly what the coronavirus is. Way to belittle people, Matt. Willem Dafoe's in this. Willem
Belittle
Dafoe.
people. Can't even fucking go on Twitter anymore, man. Fuck it. I don't even care.
I don't even listen or read your tweets anyway, so I'm like the only follower you have. Matt, where can people follow you so they can help you not feel so goddamn alone?
Have Nerdcorp on Twitter, but I'll be alone anyway, so who cares?
Forever alone. So I don't want to grade this movie in our usual way because I don't want to fucking update any goddamn things on the goddamn website, even though I'm pretty sure there's a fucking movie review that we started and that I gave up on. So
I forgot which one it was for.
what do you mean?
Shit. I forgot which, like, you said that there was another movie on the site that we started and we gave up on doing.
Not you and me. Me and the people
Oh,
who are
okay.
actually
I
good
thought
at
it
their
was me.
jobs. No. I mean the ones that don't bore me. That's not true. They all bore me.
I was about to say, man, you're gonna lump me in. They're gonna lump me in with everybody. Fuck.
Oh no, I did. Don't worry. So this might be the worst thing to ever grace cinema because it's not just wrong, it's horrifying, and it's bad.
Ugh.
So
Just, oh, Jesus.
so we're gonna make this quick because Castlevania season 3 came out, and I'd rather talk about that.
Well, I haven't watched it yet, so you'll be talking to yourself.
I usually do. So let's start with what's wrong. I'll just hit
Everything.
I'll just hit the three biggest ones, four biggest ones. It's Daisy, not Peach. King Koopa looks like Donald Trump circa 1965. The fucking Goombas, you ethnic slur using motherfuckers. The lizard ones are fine. They're kind of cute. Like, oh my god, look, it's a little lizard head. But then you got the human-shaped lizard heads, and those are wrong. Those are just
Creepy.
wrong. You can see one here. That's just wrong. And that's the one that became Toad. And
Oh,
Toad is a
God.
harmonica playing street merchant musician guy. And they zippity zapped his head and turned him into a fucking Goomba.
Christ.
Oh, Yoshi's in here, but he's a little goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex that makes you think that he's from the Isle of goddamn Jurassic Park. He even sounds like goddamn fucking Tyrannosaurus Yoshi. Little dingus. So then we get the Mushroom Kingdom, which is just... It's just the worst. It's so 90s extreme.
Fucking Mad Max on steroids, dude.
It's not even Mad Max. Mad Max at least had something unique about it.
That's true.
Not this shit. Then let's see. We got Daisy was hot. Let's be honest about that. Samantha Mathis is fucking gorgeous.
I've only seen her in like one. There's only one other movie I remember her being in. I think it was a
Broken
John
Arrow.
Travolta movie. That's right. Yep. Ain't it cool?
Was that Broken Arrow or was that Face Off?
That's Broken Arrow, man,
Okay.
because it's Christian Slater gets him on the train or whatever, and he goes, "You're out of your mind." Yeah. Ain't it cool?
Okay, Travolta and we're gonna have to do a Travolta-thon on ComicCorp next month because so many goddamn great Travolta films in the mid to late 90s.
Oh my God, he's amazing with that shit.
Such a hammy actor. I love it. It's the quintessential worse.
Damn, what a rush. Slow as shit.
So good. So good.
The movie's so
Ow!
fucking
Papa's got a
stupid too,
brand new
but it's awesome.
bag. Fucking starts flirting with his not daughter and face off. So creepy. What would have been creepier is if she was into it. What's up, Oedipus Rex?
You knew you were gonna have a crazy fucking movie when you had John Travolta and Nicolas Cage together. You knew you were gonna get one.
I want to take his face off. Take his face off? Yeah, man, that's fucked up. I love it. Because he's talking to his coked out brother-in-law. Or I should say, Nicholas. Okay, hang on. John Travolta as Nicolas Cage is talking to John Travolta's wife's brother-in-law in that scene. Follow that fucking logic.
Oh god, it's hard to.
Right? Oh, it's the worst.
Jesus.
I love it. It's so bad. It's not like the Power Glove that's so bad. This is just bad.
But those movies are at least bad in like an endearing way. Like
No,
they're
no,
just
I'm
so
talking
fun
about
to
Mario
watch.
Brothers. No, I'm just talking about Mario.
Oh, Mario Brothers, no.
It's just bad.
Okay, I thought you were still talking about the other
And
one.
think about the lineup. Think about the lineup. You had Bob Hoskins, Shmee, who's Shmee? I'm Shmee. What about Shmee? Then you had fucking John Leguizamo, 3 or 4 years away from being in Executive Decision, the most badass role he'll ever play, because he was actually a serious dude. And then we had fucking Dennis goddamn Hopper. Like, what? This movie should have been a goddamn Oscar winner, man.
Right, and I mean, especially like based on who they got alone. I mean, especially with Bob Hoskins, like if you're picking people who look like Mario, he's pretty goddamn close.
Racist.
So what? Call me a racist. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. Just means I'm racist, apparently.
I wouldn't defend being called a racist by saying so what. Just throwing that one out there. So, with this being a film about a video game, there wasn't really much of a template. Was this the biggest movie, game to movie adaptation ever at this point? Because I know we've had movie to game, like E.T., for the sake of argument.
I'm not sure if it was like exactly the first, but I know it was definitely one of the first. So it was like the biggest like thing to get out there. Like it was all over every gaming magazine at the time. It was like the biggest thing in pop culture at that time. And it just fucking tanked, and there's so many numerous reasons why. I'm sure everyone knows the story at this point, you know.
Ha! I knew it. B.D. Wong was an executive decision. Thought he looked familiar. Such a good movie. Should have watched that movie instead. It's a great movie. Fucking Halle Berry, B.D. Wong. B.D. Wong with a terrible haircut.
It, dude.
Again, trying to make you quit the show. Of course I'm going to suggest it. You could have countered with fucking executive decision.
Not even the Mario Brothers could break my spirit, man.
I'm going to try. Hey, listen to this fucking cast. This cast is fucking great. You had Kurt Russell, Steven Seagal, who dies like 15 minutes into the movie, so that's even better. Halle Berry, and I'm not being facetious. He dies like 15 minutes into the fucking movie. He doesn't even get out of the first act. Halle Berry, John Leguizamo, David Shushit. He's the bad guy. Oliver Platt, Joe Morton. Joe Morton, you'll recognize because he was Miles Dyson in Terminator 2. Do you not remember Terminator 2?
It's been a while since I've seen it, but
he's the guy who created the Terminators in Terminator 2. Miles.
Okay, I got you.
You ever see the show Eureka?
Yes, I have.
He was the auto body mechanic guy that was like best friends with the sheriff.
Alrighty.
That's who Joe Morton is. I love that show. Eureka's such a good show.
There's only like 5 seasons of it too, I think.
Yeah, well, that's when you say only, that makes sense for like AMC or CW or whatever. But Sci-Fi to get 5 seasons is a goddamn miracle. They
Especially
canceled
considering the few amount of people actually watch that fucking network anymore.
because they keep fucking up the goddamn shows. Like USA and Sci-Fi, they're all owned by NBC, and same with NBC, obviously. They all keep their shows pretty tight knit, unless it's like some type of like live television, like some type of game show or whatever.
Mm.
I don't know many shows that go beyond 5 or 6 seasons with NBC, let alone 5 seasons for Sci-Fi or 4 seasons for USA, or flip that, 4 seasons for Sci-Fi, 5 seasons for USA. Let's see. We got Len Carawow. I have no idea what that is. Whip Hubley, Andreas Costuzis, Mary Ellen Trainer, Marla Maples. I don't even know who Marla Maples is, by God. Oh, it's the second wife of Donald Trump.
Oh, lordy.
J.T. Walsh, Nicholas Pryor, and a bunch of names I don't recognize. Jay Tavares, Michael Milhohan. Yeah, executive decision rules. I'm just in love with BD Wong's hair. I'm gonna send you a picture, and you're gonna be like, "Yep, I get it. It's the worst." I feel so bad that this is the dude's hairline. Oh, goddamn, BD Wong.
See, this is just how much on a level how bad the Mario Brothers movie is. It just fucking makes you want to look up pictures.
Yeah, pictures BD Wong,
Okay.
being BD Wong's awesome self. There we go. This is the alpha team, the best of the best, and the few of the proud, sir, with honors.
Oh God.
Yep, quoting goddamn Men in Black now. So we got Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper, and you completely screwed the pooch. You got Fisher Stevens as Iggy. You got Richard Edson as Spike. This is the worst cast I've ever seen. Fiona Shaw as Lena. Mojo Nixon. He's an American psychobilly musician. What the fuck is that? Gianni Russo as Anthony Scapelli. Don Lake as Sergeant Simon. Lance Henriksen, hey, there you go, as the Fungus King, or King Reznor. You got the goddamn android bishop as your goddamn Fungus King, and this is how you go about this shit?
He's literally in a movie for like 2 goddamn seconds, too.
So you have Homer Simpson as the narrator, and Frank Welker, who's a very iconic voiceover actor, as the voice of Yoshi and the Goombas.
How the fuck do you fuck this up with so much good stuff in front of you?
And all the time, I'm sitting here going, ba da ba ba da ba 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 da ba da ba da ba da da ba da ba da ba da ba. Because this fucking film doesn't have anything from the goddamn movie besides the suits.
There's only like a few, like maybe a couple more things that reference the game in any way. And they do have little things that look like bullet bills that they put in the shoes.
Yes.
And the little tiny wind up bombs.
Ba-bombs.
But that's it.
Bob bombs. We are sex
and the painted
ba-bombs.
super scopes, for fuck's sake. I forgot about those too.
Oh yeah. Good job on that one, Koopa.
Your budget's really showing its true colors there.
So basically, the story is the Mario brothers, Mario and Luigi Mario, get sucked into the Metallica kingdom. Koopa's like, the fuck these two honkies doing here? Then he tries
best fallen animation of all time, by the way, of Mario looking like he just keeps like rolling down a fucking line.
Then they try to turn them into Goombas, and then they see how the Goomba process goes, and that's when Toad, who had been really nice to the Mario brothers, gets fucking Goombified. All the while, Luigi's trying to bang Princess Daisy. No one knows where Peach is. I don't know. And the saddest part about this entire movie is that the reason why Daisy and Luigi are a thing now in the video games is because of the goddamn movie.
The movie had to do something like that. Ugh.
When you have something so bad, you cannot let it become canon in any way.
No.
It's the worst.
You would think you want to distance yourself from this thing as far as you possibly can.
Do we need to talk about Big Bertha?
She's big. She wears a red suit, and her name is Bertha. I think that about covers it.
She's in a red leather dominatrix outfit. And this is like the late 80s, early 90s hairstyling still. So as a black woman, you know that she's going to have like the big fucking high hair, like high top fade with like Kid and Play. It's a thing.
Oh my god.
What was her relation to the movie? Wasn't she just kind of hanging out?
Yeah, I think they were getting attacked by some old lady or something with a weapon. She wanted their Koopa coins or some. He shows up and like flips the lady over a railing or something.
With her fucking sweet ass hair. Seriously, Big Bertha's hair is fantastic. It's like the best part of the whole fucking movie.
There's only one other part of this movie that I enjoy at all. There's only one, and you and I have talked about this before. It's when they're in all the Goombas are in the elevator, and Luigi and Mario are making them dance.
The only reason I think that scene's great is because there's still that possibility that the cord snaps and they all die. But then they get off the elevator, and then I'm sad.
You just want that. You wanted that hope the whole time, right?
I wanted to hold on. Like I kept hoping that the house the dude was building in the Notebook was gonna fall in and kill him in the second act, but it never came. It never came.
Oh man, to be honest, I don't blame you. Like at that point, like with this fucking movie, like just end it all, please. Like, how do you get? The only thing I can say is for what you had at that time to make a movie like about the Mario Brothers, and even still now, there's just not a huge amount of source material to go on to make this movie.
The thing is, like, you didn't need a lot of source material because one of the best things about this time period with a lot of films is it was just about the adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have easily built like a story of like Mario gets suckered in by some gorgeous pair of legs. Mario's got to go save him, and along the way he finds out that Princess Peach is doing the thing, and then they go on, they start hopping on people, and they find out that in the Mushroom Kingdom the gravity's a little bit different, so they get a little bit higher on their leaps. They can use the fireball stuff to destroy things, and they fight the Koopa King, which is a giant goddamn lizard, not Anthony Hopkins with bad hair. They save the day, they save the Mushroom Kingdom, and then they find out that they can't get home. So there's how you do a sequel. I literally just wrote the movie in goddamn 30 seconds.
And it took them longer to make a worse movie. Fuck.
And like, here's some of the running gags. Mario gets his ass bit by that goddamn Chomp Chomp. Mario gets his ass bit by the goddamn flower out of the tube. Mario gets his ass bit by Yoshi. There's gonna be a lot.
Luigi's scared of everything.
There's gonna be a lot of ass play in this movie. You're just gonna have to deal with that. Mario nearly gives himself a concussion on several different occasions because he keeps hitting the wrong blocks with his head. Like boom. Like there's so many ways you could have done this that didn't suck, but hey, I guess we had to take the path of the least good.
Well, what I don't understand is why did they have to go 100% full on dark for a movie like this?
I keep saying it, and you keep wanting to ignore it. It's the 90s. Everything was extreme.
I don't want it. But not everything had to be. Everything.
Matt, they made extreme deodorant. They made.
The only thing about Mario, the only thing was extreme.
They made extreme gushers with more gusher flavor. Everything was extreme or 2000. This was not a good time to be a kid, man.
No.
I do want to grow up. I'm not a Toys R Us extreme kid.
I remember when this movie came out and I was a kid, my parents, they didn't take me to see it, but I think McDonald's or someplace was doing like the toy for like the toys for him at the time or whatever. And they ended up getting me a Mario and a Luigi. And as soon as I looked at them, I'm like, I don't know about this. And even as a kid, I'm like, I didn't throw them out, but I almost never played with them because that movie was just fucking horrible.
Let's see. Super Mario Brothers film toys. Let's see what we can find off this. Film toys. Let's see. So we had straight up action figures.
Hmm.
But I'm not seeing anything yet about McDonald's.
Maybe they did give me the action figure or something, but I just remember getting that. I remember having that in my my little like toy chest when I was a kid. And it was Mario and Luigi, and they had those stupid like the hover boots things were just a part of the figure. They weren't like a detachable thing or something.
Yeah, that seems to be just the figures then that you got. Here we
Hmm.
go. Super Mario Brothers movie. There's an archive. Why?
Why does there need to be? The movie's bad. Just let it burn and die.
They had Pogs. We should just do an entire show about Pogs.
They had Pogs? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I just sent you a link, man. Check it out.
What the fuck? Oh my god. This is horrible.
Complete set of ERTL's SMB action figures. So it looks like there were just action figures, nothing McDonald's related.
Oh my god, these things look fucking horrible.
They look like the WMAC Masters, the World Martial Arts Council Masters figures, but those at least could have like some movement to them. Not gonna lie, the Koopa is super. The Goomba is super fucking terrible looking, in like the best way possible. Like that motherfucker's scaring the shit out of me right now.
Yeah, the only ones I had out of that whole set, and I didn't even have that wrench thing or whatever that is Luigi's carrying there. I never had that thing. But I remember those like good God. I didn't know it was like a whole set they did. I thought it might have just been the two characters, but good God, there's Koopa there, a Goomba, and the Iggy and Spike were a part of it. Oh Lord.
Well, it looks like that there were a 2-pack, so you may have gotten the 2-pack.
That's true, yeah. They couldn't have been on shelves like that long though. Because after this movie got as bad a press as it did, I'm sure those things got pulled off relatively quickly.
Not that quickly. They stay on for a while. So, anything redeeming besides the elevator scene that you can think of about this movie, besides Daisy?
Oh man. No, no. Honestly, no. There's nothing to this movie that really like grabs me in any way or makes me like even laugh at just how like bad it is. Like it's just bad for the sake of being bad. It like the movie didn't know what to do with itself. Like you could tell from the start this movie was going to be a fucking train wreck disaster.
Do you want to hear the track listings for the movie? This is from the
Oh, all right, let's do
official
it.
Mario Brothers CD. Track number 1, performed by Roxette, called Almost Unreal. Tell me. Track number 2 by Divinals, Love is the Drug, originally performed by Roxy Music.
Need drugs to watch this movie.
We're going to save number 3 for last. Number 4, I Would Stop the World by Charles and Eddie.
God.
Not even I would stop the world and melt with you. Just I would stop the world. So you know that's a song, and it seems to be only from the Super Mario Brothers soundtrack. So I'd stop the world and melt with you. That's not that song. That's a good song.
Please don't put that on there ever.
Oh God, yes, yes. I just had an orgasm.
Oh no, I'm scared.
I Want You, track number 5, written by Donnie Wahlberg, performed by Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Oh God.
That, my friends, is how you have an
Oh,
orgasm on air. Track number 6, Where Are You
that
Going? By Extreme.
that's everybody leaving the theater.
Track number 7 is from Joe Saturnari, Speed of Light. Track 8 is Breakpoint. We hit that a few times, which is a Megadeth song. Sure. Number 9 is by Queen. It's Tie Your Mother Down.
Oh God, Queen had to be on here.
Yep.
No.
US 3 featuring Rashawn and Gerard Presencer in track number 10 for Cantaloupe Flip Fantasia. Number 11 is Don't Slip Away by Tracy Spencer. Number 12 and finally is 2 Cinnamon Street by Roxette. But number 3 by George Clinton and the Goombas. Now, if you don't know, do you know who George Clinton is?
No, I do not.
George Clinton is the king of funk. And George Clinton is backed by his band is officially, he and his band are officially called George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelics. That's the original name. So they're calling him George Clinton and the Goombas. And he's doing a cover of Was Not Was, that's the name of the band, version of Walk the Dinosaur.
Oh my God. That is just an amazing track in itself, man, I swear.
Boom, boom, aka, laka, laka, boom. Boom, boom, aka, laka, boom, boom. It was a night like this 40 million years ago. I lit a cigarette, picked up a monkey skull to go. The sun was spitting fire, the sky was blue as ice. I felt a little tired, so I watched Miami Vice, 40 million years ago. And walked the dinosaur. I walked the dinosaur. Matthew, how did the chorus goes? Open the door, get on the floor, everybody walk the dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
Open the door, get on the floor, everybody walk the dinosaur. And it goes on for so many lyrics. I met you in a cave, you were painting buffalo. There it is. That's how we're ending this review. This movie's too terrible to review. You're welcome, people.
So is the rating just buffalo then?
The rating is caveman buffalo painting.
You know why I love this? Because this movie doesn't actually deserve a review.
No, it does not.
It is such a piece of shit that it just doesn't need to exist. It should have never existed. If time machines were real, I would want to go back and destroy this fucking piece of crap from ever getting made. But that hasn't happened yet.
Speaking of destroying shit that should never have been made, Madden is not going to be the only NFL game on the roster anymore. Oh, by the by, we're not talking about the loot boxes. No more fucking loot box stories. I can't take another goddamn loot box story, Matt.
Okay, 86 loot box stories.
I'll go lick people's hands to get the corona before I ever do another goddamn loot box story. They're all the same. Man. They're all terrible.
All right.
We always had the same fucking opinion. They're trash. So hard trash.
All right.
Like Madden. Madden is trash. You need to let me rant. Just let me rant. Let me go. When I'm going, let me go. Because that's when we make magic, man. That's when magic happens. Because I'm the Candyman can. I can make the sun shine. I'm just imagining Turk eating his chocolate hand. Don't eat your hand, Turk. Don't eat your hand. So 2K getting them rights. There is a theory that 2K is going to do a version of Blitz to show the NFL what they can do with the property, in the hopes that come 2021, when the deal with Madden and EA Sports runs out, that 2K can just leap in and snag the full licensing deal. But that would just be more of the same. We don't want more of the same. We want competing fucking video games. I don't want Madden to go away. I just want there to be room for 2K. Because let's be honest, Matt, 2K makes better football games. 2K makes better sports games. Except wrestling, but I don't think that was really 2K's fault.
No.
Because like the developer pulled out and they're like, fuck you.
Yeah, when things change, man, it's just when the group changes who works on it, you're gonna quality's going to be determined on how well they can deal with the product, and when that's not possible anymore, you're gonna get shit. It's just the way it is.
I liked. I didn't play the Legends game, but I liked the last. What is it? 2K5, 2K6, 2K5.
2K5, yeah.
Oh, those ESPN games were great. They're just so goddamn good. So, what's your takeaway on this 2K licensing deal?
Based on the fact that I've liked some of the arcade-ish, more like types of like sports games over the years. I would like to see a
NFL
fresh
Street.
Street is like NBA Street. Yeah, there's NBA Street, NFL Street. There was NHL Hits, I think, was at one point. That's not 2K though. The last one I remember from 2K was the Bigs. There was two of those. On the 360, I believe. That was the last like big arcade game I remember playing. So another take on it, I'd be all for it. I don't know if I want a continuation directly of the 2K series. Maybe they try the hands at one of them, like or come up with the new idea for it that's kind of similar to a Street or something. Make up your own thing. I kind of would prefer that. But if you have to go like NFL 2K, like that, you can try that. Just make it a little more like make your image of it a little more different than what Madden's doing, because you're gonna have to split the appeal. That's the only way you're gonna survive, really.
Well, not really, because NBA 2K and NBA Live still exist. So I don't know.
I meant as far as them making future NFL games, not like NBA and stuff. They'll be fine there, but
No, what I'm saying is like I think both Madden and 2K can just do simulator games and people can choose which one they want. See, the reason why Madden was so popular, it had nothing to do with the gameplay. It had to do with the fact that it had a companion piece in NCAA college football. So you got to play the college football, you got the rosters and everything, and then you got to export them to Madden. Well, Madden lost all of its fucking appeal when it lost the goddamn college football companion. And frankly, I
pretty much
prefer,
died off after that.
Yep, well, because of the whole college controversy, but I prefer the 2K basketball series to the NBA Live series.
Without question, they're far better games.
I like the ability to customize my players. If I want my fucking center to play my point guard, I can do that. I might do an entire season with 1994, 1995 Shaquille O'Neal playing point guard. Let's just see what happens. But you can't do that in NBA. So fuck that.
So for you, it's always been like the management of the players, the teams and stuff like that. That's always been like the bigger appeal to you then?
Well, yeah, for me, I'm always going to defer to whoever has the better GM franchise mode or whatever the fuck you're going to call it. For me, 2K's always had that. That's one of the reasons why I was such a big fan of the WWE video games back in the early 2000s, because they had GM modes and really great, just total kind of fucking shows like that. Or games like that. So for me, I'm a big fan of that ability to create my own little world and live in it. That's why I like the NCAA college football games, because you can recruit whoever you want. You can reside in your own little pocket of the country. You can develop and train your players and get them to a certain level, and then go see if you are good enough to keep your job. I like that.
You probably would have liked it. Did you ever remember the EA Sports take on like a coaching thing? The NFL head coach. You ever try that?
I did not, because I don't want to be a coach. I want to be a player personnel guy.
Oh, okay. Because I was just the way you're talking about simulation and stuff. I thought that was the way you wanted to go, but no. I get it.
No, that game was dumb.
I believe that was a pack-in or whatever with one of the seasons of Madden too.
2 thumbs
I think it was
down.
like the Ghost 6 or something. I can't remember.
2 thumbs down, Matt. I can taste the sunshine. Sprinkle it with dew.
So
What do we
you would
got?
want you would just want it to go straight simulator then. That's what that is. Okay.
Well, like by straight simulator, what do you mean? Like Madden only in a 2K, cover essentially.
Kind of, yeah. You'd want them to go that route.
Yeah, but with more flexibility on crafting and creating characters, as well
Okay.
as what does Madden do that pisses me off? I want more realism and better gameplay. So, not like Madden, but
Yeah, I'm more about the gameplay more or less. So
I want 2K to be 2K again. So that's what I want. So this is actually a really cool story. One that I'm actually excited to talk about because I feel like there's optimism in this. Former Nintendo America boss Reggie Fils-Aimé to join GameStop board. The industry needs a healthy, vibrant GameStop. And I concur. Do you concur, Doctor?
Reggie.
Why didn't I just concur? Did you ever see Catch Me If You Can?
I think I saw it once, but I don't remember much about it.
I genuinely love that movie. It's such a good movie. But essentially, Leonardo DiCaprio plays a kid who ends up finding out that his dad's being hustled. His mom ends up leaving, and to try to get things back together, he ventures out on his own, but he's only like 15. And along the way, he starts forging fake checks, and by doing so, he does this by going through Pan Am, the airline, and the whole bit of it was supposed to be about like how he would use the airlines to defraud them and cash cashier's checks for his own personal accounts. And Tom Hanks is a member of the, I don't know if he's like Secret Service or if he's with the Treasury Department, but he handles that kind of, like, he handles money stuff. But when Tom Hanks starts to get close, Leonardo DiCaprio switched gears. So he ends up going from like a fake airline pilot to like a fake TV executive to a fake doctor. But the doctor's the best part because he's like only 17, and he strolls in with like a fake degree and everything. And this little kid comes in with like a bicycle handlebar stuck through his chest. And like he's on the table and he's just like crying. And the one doctor, because like DiCaprio's character is now the head of ER late night shifts, so everyone else is like the underlings. So one of the underlings is like, "Hey, Doctor DiCaprio, I think we should remove the thing with the chainsaw thing, and then put gauze around him and shoot him up with Novocaine and morphine, make sure he's okay, and then suture him shut and la-di-dee, la-di-da." And it's not exactly what he suggested, but that I'm just giving you a surmising. DiCaprio, who doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on, goes, and he turns to the other doctor, because there's 3 doctors there, and he turns to the third doctor and goes, "Doctor whatever, do you concur with Dr. Whatever's number one's prognosis?" And the third doctor goes, and DiCaprio looks at the first doctor and goes, "Yes, do what you said." And he walks away. And the third doctor goes, "Why didn't I just concur?" It's the dumbest shit ever, but I love it. It also has Amy Adams as a candy striper.
Oh yes, please.
Yep, and she has braces on when
Yes,
she first
please.
meets the doctor, or DiCaprio, and it's so goddamn adorable. I love every goddamn minute of it. It's such a good wholesome movie. It's very fun.
She's so fucking cute, man. I swear.
Right? She doesn't age either. Like goddamn. So Reggie Fils-Aimé is all like, "I'm gonna take on the GameStop." Big fucking tall order from big fucking tall Reg. As the kids say, Reggie Fils-Aimé has that big dick energy.
Alrighty then.
Honest to God, I actually like the move because I feel like if anyone's going to see this through, it's going to be Reggie, because I feel like he's going to have enough out-of-the-box ideas to generate some interest. One of the things I think needs to happen is, because like I heard this idea of making GameStop like like a communal center, like a community get together. And I like that idea. Not now, but in like a month or two, sure.
Yeah, not now. Don't
The
do it
last
now.
thing we need are gross gamer dudes who don't wash their hands in the first place coming together and playing with each other's joysticks. And for the first time in my life, that's not a euphemism.
Oh man, yeah. Oh god, it's amazing how relevant that actually is. Fuck.
But in like 2 months, yes, let's do that idea because I think that'd be a really cool place. One of the things they also need to do is change their business practices. Because right now,
Across the
GameStop
board.
is kind of just seen as a very negative place.
It's how they bombard you with stuff, man. I think that's the biggest issue. Like there's this disconnect between employees and customers where they instead of actually like finding out what's good about a game, they'll just try and that's their job. Granted, they have to sell you the pre-order and the insurance thing on it and all
But
this other
that's the
shit that
thing.
they're
They
trying to
don't,
cram down your throat.
as employees, yes, but as a company, they don't have to do that. And I think that's the big issue.
No.
You know?
I mean, but isn't a lot of that covering their bottom line though? Because there's only certain things they're making money off of in general.
Well, yeah, but the idea behind this, hopefully, because like they got the guy from like Walmart coming in as well, and like someone else is coming in with Reggie fees. I mean, like there's like 3 or 4 big name dudes coming into GameStop to save them, and like all of the ideas are kind of surrounding around changing the entire culture of GameStop, and hopefully one of the things that they get rid of is the what do they call it? Predatory practices that they preach and promote. So
It'd be a nice thing to see for sure. And I personally like the move that Reggie's going to be a part of it now. Because then, quite frankly, when I've thought of all the bosses in video games, the one I've always liked is him.
mm-hmm.
The dude's always comforting when he's talking. I don't know what it is about him, but he always makes you feel comfortable when he's like presenting something to you. He wants to reassure you that this is everything's on the up and up with what he's doing. That it's gonna make sense. It's gonna work. So, them bringing him in, that's a pretty fucking bold move for one thing, and I think it's pretty smart as well.
Yeah, it's good publicity, it's goodwill, but there needs to be actual action from this. It can't just
Hmm.
be Reggie Fils-Aimé's on this board, but the board's still going to do whatever the fuck they want. You have to let the folks at GameStop do their job, and that includes Reggie. Like if Reggie comes and goes, we have to stop doing this, this, and this. We have to change our practices and all that. I think they could have something there. And I even pitched this idea to you. I think one of the best ways to go about fixing this is to go to the people who work at GameStop, train them in electronic repair, and become a commercialized electronics repair shop on top of everything else. Instead of saying my PS4 is broken, I need to get one refurbished, they can be like, for $100 we can fix it. But that only works if you have the personnel in place to make that a thing. So that means more money being spent on training, and I don't think they want to do that.
They would have, the thing is though, they would have a great tech support system that could just handle the issues up front, and you wouldn't have people going home with so many like supposedly refurbished fixed consoles where they don't really do much to them at all. They're essentially the same when they get them in the store, and then they just fix like a part of an issue and give it back to you, and then it fails like maybe a month or a couple weeks later. It's ridiculous.
And part of it would need to be trying to get in with Microsoft and Sony to try to become licensed through them, with them, so that you can, because the minute, let me start from the beginning. You can take your PlayStation to any mom and pop retail chain or mom and pop electronics repair shop, and they'll fix it for you, but it voids the warranty. But if you have the ability to get licensed and bonded through with Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo, then you can become officially able to handle the refurbishing and the repairing of systems yourselves without having to go through your local Sony or Nintendo hub to get things fixed and shipped to you. That's the crux of the idea that would need to happen. Otherwise, you'd be doing it. It's not illegal to do it, but you would be voiding warranties. And let's say you bought this PlayStation 4, 22 months ago, and you have a 24-month warranty. Something happens to it, you take it to the GameStop. Under my philosophy, under my vision, they can fix it, but those other 2 months then get voided off your warranty. Or you could send it back to PlayStation, get a brand new-ish refurbished PlayStation sent back to you, but you have to wait 2 weeks, and it may just be another pile of shit, so like you don't even know if you're going to be getting a good one. So there's pros and cons, but if you can get some kind of partnership with Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, then you can fix these consoles in-house. But that's a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of money, and I don't know if Reggie Fima is going to see that. I like the idea like that, like a lounge, sponsoring video game tournaments. Why the fuck doesn't GameStop sponsor video game tournaments?
That I've never understood either. Like you could definitely open some of the bigger stores and try to get people to come in and do that, because I've seen it done at least in one place, like local one in around me. It's closed down now, but at the time there was times I'd walk in there and the whole room was packed.
Yeah,
they were still selling games too, so it's not like it's not a feasible way to make income.
Just do a 5-in-1 buy-in or 10-in-1 buy-in, $10 buy-in and $1 to enter. So your $10 goes to whoever ends up winning, and the $1 goes to the store. And you end up making a little bit of profit. And you run tournaments, and while you're doing it, you run specials on discounted items so that people are like, oh, yeah, I want Luigi's Mansion 2. Oh, and this GameCube's only $15. I'll buy both. Like that's how you do it. I don't know why it's that fucking hard, but like whatever. Speaking of,
I think one of the other things is, I don't mean to like prolong this any longer, but I think one of the other big issues they're having with it too is that at that point you're going to like limit your product of what you're selling anymore. Like it's going to be locked down to only so many things you can sell, because you're telling essentially that's going to take up like half the store possibly to make that section.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if you're going to build a section to have tournaments and stuff and have like a bunch of monitors and seats and stuff like that, that's taking up floor space for where shelves could be possibly selling systems or games too.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point.
So you can only sell so much in a certain store.
They're not selling anything, so you want to find a way to monetize the store. If you have to take out shelves of things that don't sell, okay. That's kind of the upside to it. The other idea is that you move them out of these little tiny ass fucking stores, though. But then that comes with more increased profits, costs, and monies, and you go from maybe paying $1,000 a month to maybe paying $1,500 a month for rent. So who I don't fucking know. Let Reggie figure this shit out.
Well, I think it would be better to have like, instead of a bunch of stores in one area, just have like one store in an area. Instead of like having 5 or 6 within so many blocks. Make one big one, find a location for that. That would work.
Well, maybe, unless we're talking about downsizing staff significantly. But talking about downsizing staff significantly, E3 2020 has been canceled.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah. It was canceled before any of this stuff happened. Let's just be real.
Honest to God.
Honest
to God, Matt. Honest to God. Well, E3 should sell themselves to GameStop, and GameStop should buy out Atari and Sega and just start making GameStop exclusive consoles and games on top of everything else.
Damn, just a big joint effort you threw together there. Holy
shit.
With
the exception of Sega, they're all failing.
Yeah. No doubt there, man. No doubt.
Just saying. And then like E3, you can reveal like new Atari, because like what I would do is I would do like Atari handheld games or like mobile games, and then like Sega I'd have it as like an actual console. But to fight against injustices, I would make it so that you can only play Sega games through cartridges. But to really fucking dig at Nintendo, I would be like, any cartridge can fit in our new Sega Smash Master game system. So if you got
sounds like an awesome name too,
right? If you got an SNES game, no, I wouldn't say SNES game, I would say, so if you have any cartridge game released from, say, I don't know, 1983 to, say, I don't know, 2000, yeah, it'll work. If you got a modern cartridge game that you bought, last 5 years and you want to use it in the console, it'll work. Because fuck you all. And that's how I'd end the press conference. Just with the leader of Sega, the Smash Master System, flicking off Nintendo and PlayStation and Xbox.
Just mic drop.
Figurative mic drop with the goddamn fingers in the air. Wave them around like you just don't care. Going, hey.
Oh, man.
You got the right stuff, baby. And yes, I would have New Kids on the Block do a fucking concert to introduce the system.
Oh, 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 oh.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. The Sega Smash Master's got the right stuff.
I love it. That's amazing.
It's the best idea ever. I have
just like pure fucking 90s coming out of that whole idea. It's amazing.
Right. I have zero fucks about E3 right now. I don't want it to die because there's like 200 people who work for E3 year round. I want them to figure out their shit though. So I feel like this is the year where they can be like, listen, we potentially had some really dumb ideas. Let's not do those dumb ideas. Right? Like that's the way to go.
And here, the strangest thing is with what's happening right now, they're kind of forced to do something that they should have been doing all along.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like press conferences go, they should have just been straight up doing digital presentations. That's the way it should always be, I think, because that's more concise. That gives the information out fast. Most of these presentations have just been big, bloated, like, just unnecessary things with very little information given, few trailers for things, and a bunch of empty promises. Why not just do what Nintendo does every year with directs and just feed the information?
Well, that, and you got to remember, it also deters people from going, what, you don't have cell phones? To the crowd when they boo your stupid game.
Ugh.
I mean, so there, it saves
we have
you
cell
from the
phones. We just don't want to play a cell phone Diablo, you fucking idiots.
I didn't want to play Diablo.
I stopped playing. The only Diablo I ever played was 2, and that was just because a friend of mine wanted me to play it with him. But I played it for like a week, and then I got rid of the game.
So why am I not surprised that this goddamn Lego Mario setup is on this docket this week? You've already bought all of them, haven't you? Haven't you? Of course you have. So honestly,
to be fair, if they were available, if they're not available for pre-order yet, I'm gonna be looking. Right.
I'm going to be very honest. I do not like this, but not for the reason you think.
Okay.
I just don't like the designs.
Does it like creep out in a way, or?
Well, they just don't feel like Legos. Like, I know they're kind of built to look like big old Legos, and like they need to be bigger because I think some of them are like electronic in nature, like they make sound effects and shit. So I get it, but I think you would have sold me a lot harder if you had like those huge ass Mario, like world sets, but like just like all the other Lego sets. You know what I mean?
Do you think they look more like Duplos to you than Legos?
They do look like Duplos. Well, Duplo is Lego, but Duplo is for kids, like little kids. They do look like Duplos. Like that's exactly what they fucking look like, and Duplos look like shit. But then again, Duplos are for 9-month-old babies who want to chew on Legos but don't want to die from it. So, Duplos.
Well, the reason why they made them bigger like that, like Duplos, though, like you said, it was because of like the electronic things they're trying to do with them too, I believe, right?
Yeah, and that's whatever, I guess. I want like a little tiny ass Mario and like a giant ass Koopa Castle that's like 4,000 pieces and costs $180.
Right, like why not build the mushroom, like a Mushroom Kingdom,
right.
or something?
And I think Mario's
racist playset.
I think Mario's racist as fuck, and that's what I want. So, like, think about that. You know
Anything's got to
what?
be better than what's actually at the market now because my kid has a couple of these toys he got for Christmas, and those fucking things, just with the pieces they are so fucking hard to put together. That
You know what
having
I
a
would.
Lego set like this would be amazing.
You know what I would really want?
Mm.
A fucking Zelda Lego set,
That oh dude,
right?
oh man,
Right?
that's a fucking awesome.
Right?
Oh man, Link's Awakening Lego set. I am in.
Fucking Link to the Past. Hell yeah.
I'm just thinking about it right now. Like, what you could put so much in there, man. It'd be awesome. I'm just picturing Link's Awakening with the fucking like mountain with the egg inside of it. You know? Oh man, I love it.
So we
Um,
have to we had to talk about the only good thing that came out in gaming this week. Da da
Top
da
scale.
da 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 da. Sorry, Castlevania, obviously. The only good thing.
Castlevania season 3.
Loved it. Loved everything about it. Was hooked instantly. My only gripe, and this is kind of like this, I call this the Marvel season because
Mm.
everything was on the nose. Everything you knew was going to happen happened. But that doesn't necessarily make it bad. You know? I knew at the end of Avengers War Games, End Games, never mind, whatever it's called, that all the people were going to die. Oh
Mm.
no! And then I knew at the end of the last one, Avengers, we ran out of terrible titles for the name, that they would all come back. All right. I knew this was the story. I knew Tony Stark was gonna die. I wasn't surprised. But it was fine, you know? Like I'm not gonna sit here and bitch about it. I knew this was the end game. I knew what it was gonna be and whatever. And that's what I knew about like Castlevania. Like the very first episode, I'm like, Alucard's gonna get betrayed because Alucard's lonely as shit. Alucard opens up the season, Matt, talking to a little doll of Simon and a little doll of what's her name? Sophia Belmontis.
Mm. Mm.
Like he's got little stuffed dolls of the Belmont and Belmontis, and he's like making up voices for them. And he's like, so he's sitting there and he's mimicking Belmont. He's like, I drink and I eat and I fuck, and that's all I am because that's all I do. And she
Oh
goes,
my god, I gotta watch this now.
and then the camera pans over to the Belmontis. And he goes, "You are all gonna die in a fire because you're stupid, and I am the best person ever, and I am always going to win." And then they
Oh, this
cut to
dialogue's
Alucard,
fucking amazing, dude. It's great.
and then they cut to Alucard, and he goes, "Oh, I'm so alone."
Oh man, sense of humor seems on point this season.
It's very morbid though, because you start to see that Alucard is very sad and lonely, and then he meets
Oh
two
man.
young Chinese. I think they're Chinese or I think no, they're Japanese. Two young Japanese hunters. Do you remember in season 2 how Dracula had that court of vampires from like all over the world?
I do remember that,
Do
yeah.
you remember the geisha-looking vampire?
I vaguely, but yeah, I think I know
They
what you're talking about.
they gave her a backstory, but not really so much a character. She's from Japan, and she had her own little army of sorts that she was enslaving, and she had a bunch of humans serving her under fear
Mm.
of death, and she would force the humans to bring her soldiers from the area to fight her, so that she could kill them in front of all the other people. Real fucking morbid and twisted shit. So
Damn.
so she gets called to Dracula's castle. The two siblings mount a coup d'état of sorts, kill all the loyalists to this Japanese vampire, and then travel to find Alucard to learn, the lessons of how to be a badass vampire killing motherfucker. So he gets settled with them, and instantly I know what's going to happen. I won't say what happens, but I know what's going to happen. And at one point, the brother of the Japanese vampire slayers goes, the reason why he wants to help us, and the reason why he's not helping us more, because like Alucard promises them that he will show them all the tips of the trade and tricks of the trade and all that. And the brother and sister go, the reason why he's not telling us more is because he's lonely, and he knows that once we get told everything we need, we'll go back to Japan. So like they're aware that Alucard is kind of delaying this for his own, sanity, if you will. Simon and it's not Sophia. I know it's not Sophia. Sypha. It's Sypha. That's right. Sypha. Simon and Sypha.
There you go.
Simon and Sypha.
Okay.
They're rolling through. I think it's Trevor. Why are you letting me say Simon? It's Trevor. God damn it. I can't get anything right. So Trevor and Sypha are yeah, okay, I'm just checking. Are going through the backwoods of Europe. They're supposed to be meeting up with Sypha's speaker group, but they end up deciding to just go on their own and killing a bunch of people. Not people, but like monsters and shit. And they end up running into this judge dude, and this judge is like, "Hey, we got these crazy ass dudes in this fucking church over there. A demon fell in there like during Dracula's whole purge like a few months ago. You want to go in and fuck him up and kill him, and maybe I don't know." And they're like, "Sure." That's essentially their plan. They also meet a guy named I forget his fucking name. Let me see if I can find it real fast. He just got introduced in season 3, Saint Germain. He's played by Bill Nighy, who played
Nice.
Yeah, you know who Bill Nighy is, right? Played Davy Jones in the Pirates movies, and Sean's stepfather in
Shaun of the Dead. That's what I was thinking of. Yep.
Yes, that's who he is. Not much is known about him, but like if you know anything about the games, you know he's kind of a time traveler. Like he's not too much a fan of the one-time idea, so he's bringing in some different concepts. He's in the same town as Trevor and Sypha, and they kind of run into each other. He's pretty cool. Jason Isaacs, the father of Malfoy. Remember the Patriot? He played the main villain in the Patriot. Jason Isaacs. Do you know who he is?
I think I know what that is. Yeah.
He was in. He played Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter films.
Okay.
That's a big one. He does the voice of the judge. Let's see what else we got. Ivanka Milshistich. She does the voice of Striga. There's apparently a foursome of vampire women who are running this town. In my best estimation, pretty much closer to the border of Russia. So like a lot further eastland in Europe than everyone else. So they got Striga, who's like this giant-ass monster bitch. Then they have Lenore, who is Striga's wife, if I remember correctly. No, Lenore is the little tiny mousy one. She's in charge with dealing with Hector, the Devil Forge Master from season 2. Morana, there it is. She's the wife of Striga. Let's see who else came in season 3. So the other plot involves obviously the Devil Forge Masters. Isaacs is roaming around Africa or maybe the Middle East. And he's trying to get his way back to Europe so he can enact Dracula's plan of killing all the human beings. Because, Isaac is he's a loyalist. Hector, on the other hand, is imprisoned by these 4 vampire bitches, and he's like, I want to fucking die. So he's having a rough day. He's having a rough day. And believe me, he has an even rougher season finale.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's not good. There is a minor mention of sorts of the titular villain, but you'll see what and how he's dealt with. Okay. I don't want to go into spoilers. Let's see what else. Anything else?
Now what it seems like, and this is what I've been hearing, and what you've basically been telling me is that this season seems to focus a lot more on introducing characters and setting up things than it does on like full blown action. Is that true?
Yeah, that's fair. There is action. There's a little bit of action in just about every episode, and there's a lot of action in the last 2 episodes.
Okay.
But there is action. And this season, I would call it the original season. because a lot of the things introduced in here, like the Vampire Council of Women, all new. None of them are in any other games. The judge that the trio of heroes meet in that one town, brand new. I think even the villain of that town is brand new as well. What was his name? Sala, played by Navid Nigga. Oh, I gotta watch that.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, man.
It's Negahban. Nagahaban. Navid Nagahaban. He plays Sala, and Sala is the leader of this monk. He lives in a, what is it? It's not called a friar. It's something else. But he had a meeting. He had an encounter with a demon, and they turned all these friars and all these godly men into demon worshipping sociopaths. Spoiler alert on this. It's not a big spoiler. They want to bring Dracula back. Ugh, shocking.
Not shocking at all.
Right? Like it's the most obvious on point message of the goddamn series.
Like, he's the biggest villain in the entire Castlevania shit. Of course you're gonna want to do that.
Right? The only other spoiler I'll give you is a non-spoiler. It's more of a revelation on what doesn't show up. Third season, still no sign of the Grim Reaper. No death. Don't know why. At least that we're aware of. Like, who knows? There's like a little boy who runs around. That could have been death. There's like a bird in season 2. That could have been death.
You thought he would have been around at this point.
A little bit, yeah. I'm a little surprised that he hasn't been yet.
Because if I remember, so you see the first time you even see the Grim Reaper in like the games, isn't it in Simon's Quest? If I remember right.
I thought it was in 1.
Is it in 1? I thought the end boss was like looking like the Grim Reaper, or that's just another form of Dracula. Maybe, I don't know.
No. The boss at the end of Simon's Quest, wasn't that the second one?
Yeah.
The boss at the end of Simon's Quest is Dracula, because you end up reforging Dracula. Castlevania Death Boss. Let's just see what Google tells us. Just looking at this video, it says Castlevania NES, Stage 15, Grim Reaper of Death.
Okay.
So I think you do in fact face him in the very first game. But you do face him. You face him in just about every game. So like you do face him in Simon's Quest, but then because you're getting all of the, you're getting all the pieces of Dracula in that game. So I do think you end up fighting Dracula in that game as well.
So you would say that this season of the show is very much like world building, trying to establish things.
Because Ravi Shankar, he said that when he wrote this as a 3-season movie, or as 3 movies spread across 3 seasons. That was his original goal. Season 1 was supposed to build into season 2 as one movie. Season 3 would be another movie. Season 4 would be another movie. Now he could do more seasons beyond that if the show is successful, like obviously. But I feel like he did season 1 to set up season 2, and I think he did season 3 to set up season 4. Because he only does have, like, he had 4 episodes, then he had 8 episodes for season 2, and now he has 10 episodes. So he doesn't really have a lot of time to tell the story. And that's part of the issue, is that Castlevania is not being given, a lot of time. Like, you think of Rick and Morty, they get 12 or 14 episodes a season, I think. So, it's one of those things where I completely understand why he's going the way that he's going, and I completely support it because I find it entertaining. I like the world building. I like the way he's going about things. I think, end all be all. I think it's the best video game TV property or video game movie property we've ever gotten. Although I haven't seen Sonic yet, but I've heard good things.
No, even with seeing Sonic, as I personally seen it, I would still say Castlevania is better as for what it's doing.
It's entirely possible. I think they're both good representations of what they're trying to do, and they both hit their vibe. Like Castlevania Season 3, I don't know if this is going to be a compliment or an insult to say it like this, but Castlevania Season 3 felt like the first few floors of Diablo. Like, it's very macabre. It's very guttural. It's very, very what the fuck.
Mm.
Like, I won't tell you much about it, but there's a dude that Sypha and Trevor deal with who's a straight up mass murderer, and you don't even know. And you're like,
Mm.
what? And like when you find out like the grim details, it shifts the entire dynamic. You know, like these are minor spoilers. Sypha very happy. She's getting laid all the goddamn time.
Mm.
Trevor's getting wet, man. Sypha's enjoying herself. But when all the things happen in season 3, she becomes very stoic. And she becomes a lot more aware of how truly immense the darkness of this world is. And it hits her hard. So like there are so many good minor things to that. And I think part of the thing that's really interesting is the way Trevor handles that is kind of like a 180 where he's almost galvanized now more in his quest than ever before to do right. Even though it's a very minor minuscule thing and you're not really too observant, but like the way his body language changed from the start to the end of the season is very noticeable. But they do a lot of great storytelling techniques, and I truly loved it. I would not let your kid watch this. There is lots of the sex in episode 8 or 9. I think it's episode 8.
Oh no, this would be something I definitely would watch just at night for sure. Like,
Yeah,
by myself. Don't worry about
yeah.
that.
Don't let the family watch the nudity.
No. How long do you think this series could possibly go on for? You think?
You know, if I'm being as pragmatic as possible, I think season 5 is the most it can do because animation costs go up. You have to keep re-signing talent to bigger contracts, not just voice talent, but also illustration talent. One of the hallmarks of the show is its beautiful animation. You really don't want to skimp on that. It sets a very chilling vibe. But idealistically, let's say this is Netflix's most successful show. Netflix loves it. Netflix won't let anything happen to it. It could go on infinitely because there's so many different characters, and like with the introduction of Bill Nighy's character Saint Germain, you now have the element of going forward and backwards in time to different eras of Castlevania. So like this show has an infinite number of plot lines. It could go on for 30 years if you want. It just needs to have the budget to continue to go on for 30 years. But I think idealistically it'll get a 4th season. It'll do well because it's the culmination of that arc, and then it'll probably get a 5th and final season. I'm gonna Google right now.
Supposedly he's doing Devil May Cry. He's doing Devil May Cry, as far as I know. He's gonna turn that into a series. I remember us talking about that too, and I'm honestly can't wait if this show is as good as it is. I want to see what he does with that too.
Okay, I was just double checking to make sure that there's no news. Because sometimes if a show does really bad right out the gate, they'll just cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
So I just Googled to see if there's any Castlevania news about the season 4 not happening. There's not. So as of right now, season 4 is still on. As far as Ravi, he is apparently doing a Devil May Cry series, and I'm super excited about it because if he's going to work with the same animation studio, I'm super into it. Like, these are two very similar stylistically shows, and like these are the kinds of shows that I'm very into. Not hardcore horror, but very gothic. And Devil May Cry has a lot more sense of humor to it, so I'm going to appreciate the hell out of that.
And you can see he's already done so well with humor just in Castlevania alone. He could very easily do this series as well. I don't think he'll have any problem.
And Castlevania is not very late in humor either, so there's that.
No.
All right, so you want to talk about fucking stop skeletons from fighting?
I don't really want to. I thought it's generally we just leaned into YouTube, so I figured that would be the one you would want to discuss.
Well, what did you think about his Hey Derek, I'm Derek series?
Just the one he did is this week. It was ambitious Game Boy Color games or something like that.
He's an ambitious fella.
You can't deny and like hate on his enthusiasm, though, man. He's amazing with it. I love it.
I would never hate on him. I love him. He's my dude.
The one I found the one of them that I found the most interesting and sticks out to me the most is the Perfect Dark port on there, because Rare decided to take a 180 with it, not try to make it a first person shooter, instead made it like a top down shooter, but still gave like certain different elements to the game that made it like some first person, but it felt more on rails. And I'm like, that was some cool ideas of way to utilize that system, but not have to overuse it. You
Can,
know,
can we point out the obvious one? Daikatana actually
what's
got
that?
made into a real game that didn't suck.
And it was an RP. It was a Legend of Zelda clone of all things.
Love that. Why wasn't
That's
that
fucking awesome.
Oh, and he also did a video on strategy guides that we didn't talk about.
Oh man, that. Oh my god.
Love me some strategy
The biggest
guides
thing I remember from that is the fucking like little like snow angel thing he started to do in his strategy guides. I love this guy, man.
He's a
Such a little kid with it.
He's a silly boy.
Yeah, I don't remember much about strategy guides, but the one thing that sticks out about what he said about them was when they started to take this turn into almost being unnecessary, especially with I believe it was the Final Fantasy IX one that was a big highlight.
Yeah, because it just
Because
referenced everything online. Those cunts.
yeah, like everything was just go look at the tip online, go look at the tip. Well, why am I even buying the book? That doesn't make any sense. The only one I ever had was I think he did show it in the video, was the Final Fantasy VII one from Brady Games or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember having that one to this day, and I wish he would have opened it and maybe looked at least one or a couple of sections of it, because the one I always remember is the section about Ruby Weapon where everybody thought that you would find out how to beat him or whatever. And the only thing it basically says is, we don't know how to do it. Good luck.
See, when that's the case, and you know what? That's okay, because it shows you just how tough it is. Make it funny.
Yeah.
So like when you go to look it up, it'll be
it's like a short paragraph. It's hilarious.
no, you don't even need to go that in depth. Just go to the Ruby Weapon part, and just be like, so you're here to look up how to beat Ruby Weapon, right? Just ... Or no, how do you beat Ruby Weapon? You just quote a night sale. How do you beat Ruby Weapon? In its sleep, with a lance. No, in its sleep with a club, but awake with its powers, you can't.
I remember at the time too. I remember playing this game with my brother, and that was the thing we were stuck on, because we wanted to get a gold chocobo or whatever, but we didn't want to go through the breeding process to get them. We wanted to just beat the Ruby Weapon, get the thing, so we could just get one outright. And we tried coming up with every possible combination you could ever think of, maxing out your materia, doing that, trying to get that 777 combo thing that supposedly hits them like a million times with that same attack. There was nothing we tried or system we tried to manipulate that would get it to work. It was just so cumbersome. It felt like at one point we were like, fuck it, we're just going to beat the game now, man. It's not worth it at that point.
Yeah.
That's about it. Just every possible combination. And there was I think it was like a combination of mime and then the cutting thing or something like that.
We
then
don't
you
need
had
to
to
go
link
into
it to it's just fucking crazy, dude.
So Caddy released some videos. A video.
And they were fun.
So we did talk about the wonderful world of PS1 demo discs. But we didn't talk about the weird world of PlayStation magazines of the UK brand.
Oh, lordy.
I didn't realize that they had become so
Pornographic?
lewd.
Damn.
Kind of messed
the
up.
thing that the thing that baffled me was, what was that one he had, like the rate your mate thing or something?
Mm-hmm.
that thing, I was like, what in the fuck is this about? That just doesn't make any sense at all. To get a free game, you're gonna expose your significant other. Fuck you, dude. I'm not even that fucking desperate, man.
The magazines were very lascivious at one point, so
Yeah, that I was kind of surprised that it's still. If I remember, he said it did carry on into PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 territory, right? Like
no,
okay.
no. He said that eventually they stopped doing that come PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
Mm, okay. Hmm.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun. Sorry.
I'm kind of I've see in they're very the sense of humor between him and between Derek. You can always tell just how different they are, because Derek starts with him swimming in a sea of strategy guides. Caddy starts with him on the toilet reading one.
Mm-hmm.
Just it's already setting the tone right out of the gate. I love that about it. And I've never collected that many things um Game Informers or any type of magazine like that, because none of them were that memorable to me, because I don't remember seeing stuff like that. So that must have only just been a UK thing,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't remember like lewd and crude stuff being in the back of like Game Informers and Xbox magazines and shit like that. So that's interesting to see, and I especially liked it when he actually tried to call one of the lines at that point. That was funny too.
So, what else did you watch?
This on as or so we're talking on the YouTube part of it, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Slopes Game Room did a complete history about Bubsy. That was a fucking trip. It's just a tale of an idea for a mascot gone horribly wrong. And I already knew about most of it and how the developers, especially for Bubsy 3D at the time, did not. They have never made a game, and it obviously shows. And they weren't given a lot of time with it either. So it was just how bare bones it became. The the sheer amount of stupidity that went in that project just baffles me. Like, why even
Mm-hmm.
try at that point? It's just not worth it. Um, Matt McMuscles did. I watched two Wahapon of his.
It's
Pathetically.
Wahapon.
I can't get that right.
Well,
What the
well,
fuck is wrong
you,
with
you
me?
have to remember it's W. It's a U. There's no T and it's a U. So
Wah.
what? So you drop the T because there's no T, so it's Wah, and then there's a U, so Hoppen. Wahapon.
Wahop. Wahapon. Like that?
Wahapon.
Okay. But he did two of those on Thrill Kill and then Resident Evil 6.
So can I just all right? You know I don't like the guy. I find him very annoying, but I like his Wahapons because I find them
Mm-hmm.
informative. But literally,
Mm-hmm.
all Resident Evil 6 was him going, they spent a lot of money on it. It was okay. Not a great video.
Yeah, the Thrill Kill one was far more interesting.
Yeah, but it's about thrill kill, so who the fuck cares?
Gaddy did a video on it, I believe, at one point.
Well, that's Caddy, and Caddy's a fucking sociopath.
And he actually founded that game, if I remember right. There was like alternate costumes for the characters or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And one of them was just like literally swaps of like just one part of the face. It's just so stupid. But no, yeah, he's Matt McMuscle seems to do a lot more of like let's plays though than he seems to do of these things. Because I mean, those are the heavily scripted ones. So I guess that's obviously why. But I don't know. Again, it's scripted content I do prefer, but in this case, yeah, both of these were kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. I lost interest in them both after just a few minutes.
I watched the RE6 one all the way through just because it's about RE6, and I actually like RE6.
Mm,
I understand that a lot of people didn't like some of the more over the top tones of the action, but
mm,
my complaints with RE6 is my complaints with all RE games. I don't like the arcade style firing mechanics. Like if I shoot you in
mm,
the brain, I expect you to die, right? Well,
mm-hmm.
99 out of 100 times. But like take that out of the equation and honestly like RE6 is a good game. It's really polished. There's no issues with it. Its biggest argument is, well, it's not like other Resident Evil games. All right, that's a fair criticism, but then again, outside of Resident Evil 2, what is?
That's true because it didn't. The series was taking a dramatic change in tone ever since that game. It's not like 6 started the trend or something.
Well, Resident Evil 3 and Resident Evil Code Veronica were a lot different than RE1 and 2, and then Resident Evil 4 flipped the goddamn script. But 6 gets the shit because it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the multiplayer mechanic. That seems to always be the biggest gripes. Like if you look at all the biggest gripe games, if you will, Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, they all have the same thing. 2 players at the same time. Maybe not 2 players necessarily in Resident Evil 0, but you're always with someone in Resident Evil 0. And I used to watch a guy named Jordan Underground. And it was either Jordan Underground or Caddy, because they did a crossover about one of the games. I
Isn't
think
this Jordan Underneath? Isn't that his channel?
yeah, something like that, yeah. He no longer does game reviews, so I've long unsubscribed from his crazy ass. But Jordan Underneath and Caddy did a team-up video, which is actually how I got into Cat Icarus, about Resident Evil 0. And I forget who it was, but one of them mentioned that the reason why this game doesn't work is because you're always with somebody, and that takes away the element of fear, the isolation that comes along. And
It's a fair point.
yeah, and that was one of the things I was like, that's a valid fucking point. You know, like you have all of this in regards to the atmosphere and the ambiance. And now sometimes you are with a partner, but like with Ada Wong, you were under the impression she was a reporter or whatever the fuck she was, so you had to protect her. And then you were with Sherry Birkin, and Sherry's all like 12 or 10 or 2, 48. I don't remember how old she was. And then in Resident Evil, the first one, you had Barry Burton if you were Jill, but it's not really exactly the most safe feeling because he's not always with you. So it's just one of those things where the games work best when you don't have to have a partner with you all the time, or at least when you don't have the ambiance taken away from you. Because I think that's one of the bigger advantages of these games is that ambiance. Oh, by the by,
5 had a partner with you all the time too?
yes,
Though?
yes,
Didn't 5 do that?
yes, and that's part of that's 0, 5, and 6 are the games that are most maligned. You neglected to mention the biggest news of the week, Matthew.
And that would be what?
Resident Evil 3 Remake will not have safe rooms anymore.
Huh.
And let me be clear, they'll still have safe rooms. They just won't be safe anymore. Because according to a report that I saw online, Resident Evil 3 will in fact allow Nemesis to sporadically break into the rooms.
Oh man, well then people are fucking bone playing that game now.
Yeah. You the big fucked now.
Because that thing is just gonna take you the fuck out.
You're Gemma Jameson in a goddamn gangbang. That's how fucked you are.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're
Bringing the outdated porn stars
Yes.
into it, man. I love it.
You are rickety wrecked. So I don't know if that's true. Let me be clear. I saw it online, so obviously like it could be, it couldn't be. But if that's fucking true, man, oh my god, Resident Evil 3 is not gonna have my money. Not because I don't think it's a good idea, not because it won't make it a good game, but because I'll be too goddamn afraid to play it. I need not another reason to worry about blood pressure.
And if that thing's just fucking following you around all the time, man, you're gonna be on straight medication for it.
Right. That's why I need to play Resident Evil 2 on PC, because I need to replace the Mr. X with Thomas the Tank Engine. Not less scary, but the music helps. Do 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 do.
Do 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 do.
No, that's not the theme song from.
I was talking about Thomas the Engine, though.
Yeah, that's
what I
not the
was
theme
trying
song
to
from
do.
Thomas the Tank Engine. It's da 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 da. Something like that. Anything else that catch your attention this week?
As far as like the YouTube side of things, not
Just
really.
anything.
Those were the big, like Caddy was the big one, and Matt was another one, and then of course Derek. Those are the ones that really kind of truthfully stick out to me.
Just anything at this point because we've been on the air too long. I'm tired of your face.
You're not even looking at my face.
I'm still tired of it, and I got to go get some tinfoil.
You got to go get tinfoil. What do you need tinfoil for? You making a hat?
All right, listen, motherfucker. If you're gonna ruin my jokes, do it after I say the goddamn punchline. Because I knew you were gonna say, "What do you need tinfoil for?" And I was gonna say, "For my hats, obviously," but I couldn't say it because you fucking ruined it. No,
I think I'm supposed to know you were gonna make that joke. Come on.
You're supposed to. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to ask the question and stop. That's how a good improvisational individual does their job.
They also get the word right the first time.
I have a speech impediment. You fucking cunt. This is your hole. It's time to insert something into it.
I'm not inserting anything in any one of your holes.
I didn't say mine, you fucking doodle do. I need tinfoil because I need to cook things in tinfoil. Why else do you need tinfoil?
I actually need some too, ironically enough.
Well, fuck you. I was gonna buy you some, but now I'm not because you're an asshole.
No, you weren't gonna buy me any. Fuck off.
Bitch,
you know you weren't.
You don't know.
Yes, I do. I do know you.
I got the money now, bitch.
You don't want to see my face. What makes you think you want to bring something to me to see my face?
I would go find that dude in fucking Claremont or Strickland or whatever who's got the big disease. I was gonna roll the box in his face and ask him to cough on it. Then I was gonna ship it to you. Duh.
I would just hire somebody to cough in your face.
How do you know you? Well, here's the thing. If someone comes up to me, I'm immediately turning around and walking away just out of habit right now. And if someone is going to try to cough on me, I'm going to break their goddamn jaw. You ain't getting me with the light beer virus. It ain't
You gonna
happening.
bunker yourself down and hide for the next couple of weeks?
Bitch, I got enough food in this house. I got enough electronics in this house. I got enough work to do in this house. I can ride out a week or two of quarantine.
I got enough here too, man. Honestly.
Well, I don't care about you.
Well, I care about the people who are around me, whether they hate me or not. So take that for what it is.
Well, that's your own dumb fault. RealNerdCorp.com. RealNerdCorp.com. Twitter's NERDCORP. The Instagram is RealNerdCorp. Matt, what's your personals?
On Twitch, it's MNerdCorp, same handle on Twitter.
If we do get quarantined in the state of Ohio, Matt will be streaming because he's going to have to deal with the people in his house, and he's going to need a release at some point. It's going to happen. You can find me on Twitter.
Shit, I've already been doing it anyway.
You'll be doing it more. You can find me on Twitter at ChadNerdCorp, ChadNerdCorp, and on Instagram at Chad's Photo Hut. You can also find us on the Podbean at realnerdcorp.podbean.com or by downloading the Podbean app to your mobile device today and searching Real Nerd Corp on the app today. We are also on twitch.tv/Comic and GameCorp and on YouTube by searching Comic and GameCorp in the YouTube search engine. So be sure to follow us, like, subscribe, comment. I don't give a fuck. And we'll be back next Saturday for another edition of this dumb show that we do with the dumb things and dumbness. We'll be reviewing another dumb game and talking about other dumb things.
Such a positive outlook on life.
Right? Matt, unless you got anything else you want to add, it's time to say goodnight.
Thank everybody for listening. and stay safe, and we'll see you next week.
My Sharona.